All right, so the flow for today is going to get very heavily into the hips. We are going to take this toward Firefly, or Tittibhasana would be the Sanskrit name, but I'll just stick to Firefly for right now. So that's going to be a lot of opening through the inner thighs, definitely get the hamstrings quite a bit as well, so be ready for that. A lot of compression work as well, because the Firefly, once we get into that at the end of class, it requires a very deep forward fold. So we're going to do a lot to get as close as we can to fold into that so that the pose can actually be, well, get as far as possible into the pose once we get to that point. So just have that in mind. I have one demonstration before we start. So once we get into the main part of the flow, we're going to take this through a series of frog hops here. You're going to take this in downward facing dog first. You've probably done this before. And just keep in mind, you're going to go from here to the front of the mat in a squat. And this doesn't have to be anything that dramatic. You can keep it as a low hop. You can bring it up high toward inversion if you like. But pressing your hands, land your toes, land ready to bounce, because we're just going to go back and forth and do this 3 times to begin. So from this position, you're going to take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop forward. Land light. I didn't really come up all that high. Now keep in mind, when you're hopping, stand your toes, land with your heels lifted. You don't want to really land with flat feet. You shouldn't be getting shin splints when you do this. And pressing your hands as much as you can so that you're not making any noise when you land. Try to strive toward landing silently as best you can. The higher you go, the more important that becomes. You can take this to the other extreme, where maybe take the inhale with the exhale, look forward, hop this forward. You got to keep pressing down to land this as light as possible, but just work it as best you can. You don't have to take it up all that high. After the third time, we'll go in, we'll take this to a low lunge, and then we'll move into the flow from there. So just have that in mind. That's how we're going to begin this. And at the end of the flow, we are going to take this toward crow, and I'll just go through that very quickly as well. You're going to start that from a forward fold. Hands about shoulder width, flatten your palms, dig your fingertips down, lift your heels, and bring the knees to touch your arms and keep that contact. Look forward, lean forward, keep gripping the floor, and just go slow. And if you're a little bit out of it, don't really feel like balancing, maybe just come here as far as you can to the edge of balancing. That's plenty for building strength. If you can take it further, keep leaning and try to lean so that your feet lift together. Big toes to touch, heels toward your seat. Take that to where you can. We'll move through the vinyasa from there. You can step it back, you can fly it back wherever you like, but just feel things out and see what you're up for today. So all that said, let's start this on our backs. And when you come down, we're going to work that compression and work this into the hips right away. So once you're down, go ahead, take hold of your knees. Pull your knees out wide, draw them down toward the sides of your ribs, and pull down as much as you can. And try to flatten your body out with the legs folded like this. Now as you're squeezing down, pull your shoulders down toward the floor. Keep the inner thighs moving down in toward the sides of your rib cage, or the sides of your abdomen. I suppose it depends on how long your limbs are and your torso with that. And just keep pulling and hold. Keep all that tension. And then from here, take an inhale. And with the exhale, just let that tension go. Now keep your knees wide and bring your legs into Baddha Konasana. Soles, feet together, outside edges of the feet come to the floor. And how you set this up exactly is up to you. And if your hips are tight at all and the knees are pretty high up off the floor, I recommend sliding the feet away from you. Make a longer diamond shape with your legs. You can always keep the feet closer if you like. But let your hips relax, let your knees just sink down. Let your low back take its natural arch. And if your hips are a little bit tighter, I recommend settling your hands on the inner thighs just to help the knees settle toward the floor. Otherwise, you can have your arms at your sides however you like. But let your shoulders sink down, let your chest just open up. And then just close your eyes. So just give yourself a moment to settle in here like this. Let your mind quiet down. And just start to deepen your breathing here when you're ready. So with the inhales, pull in as much air as you can. Try to fill up your lungs and hold on to all that breath at the top. When you exhale, constrict the back of your throat. So slow your breath down on the way back out. And just work to make your exhales last at least as long as your inhales as you breathe. And just keep breathing like this to begin. And then when you're ready here, take a deep inhale. And when you exhale, just open your eyes. And just take things slow. With your next inhale, reach your arms out long past your head. And then with the exhale, just reach your arms forward, hands between your knees somewhere. Inhale, reach this out long. Exhale, arms forward again. Inhale, reach this out long. Exhale, arms forward. Inhale, reach this out long. And then with the exhale, reach the arms forward, but curl up as well. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, stay lifted. Belly pulled in, low back down. Keep stretching forward through your fingertips and keep the knees wide. We'll go back and forth from here. So with your next inhale, roll this out. Exhale, curl forward. Inhale, roll this out again. Exhale, curl forward. Inhale, roll out long. Exhale, curl forward again. Inhale, roll this out. And then with the exhale, curl forward, but stay lifted. Keep looking forward, belly pulled in, low back down. And then just take this back and forth one hand at a time. Reach your right hand as far forward as you can. And then the left. And just take it back and forth, reaching and twisting like you're trying to climb forward on a rope. Belly pulled in, low back down. Keep your head and shoulders lifted as you move. And work the twist as best you can. So try to reach from the shoulders rather than just from the hands. And then just take this back and forth a couple more rounds. And finish with your left arm forward. Before you come back to center, you're still lifted here. Belly pulled in, low back down, supposed to burn. Lift up a little bit higher. And then take an inhale. And with the exhale, take hold of your knees and roll back down. Bring your head to the floor, relax your shoulders down. And then just squeeze down and pull the knees in toward the sides. Maybe rock a little bit side to side, but just breathe here for a moment. And then go ahead, bring this back into center if you're still rocking. Legs back in Baddha Konasana and bring your feet down to the floor. Now soles of feet together, knees out wide, and we're setting this up for a variation of bridge. So bring the heels in close enough that you can flatten your low back as much as possible from the beginning. And just keep your arms at your sides with the palms down. Let's take this up and down from here. With an inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, roll your spine down. Inhale, lift this up, squeeze your glutes, keep the knees wide. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, lift your hips up again. And then with the exhale, lower. Inhale, press up high. Exhale, roll down. Now inhale, lift one more time and hold here. Keep your glutes squeezing, keep your hips lifting, and as you hold on to that lift, try to pull the knees wide at the same time. Now just keep breathing with us here. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, just roll back down. Now once you come down, we're taking another version here. So bring your feet flat to the floor. And this time we're going to take this toward a little bit of internal rotation. So with your feet flat, set them out a little bit wider than your hips, a little bit wider than usual. And you don't have to go too far to feel the difference. Heels are going to point towards center, toes out to the sides. And then just keep the heels close again so your low back's more or less flat when you start. Keep your gaze up high. Now with an inhale, press into your feet, squeeze your glutes, lift up. Exhale, roll this back down. Inhale, press your hips high. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, lift your hips up again. With the exhale, lower. Inhale, press up high. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, lift your hips up again and hold here. Now keep your glutes squeezing, keep your hips lifted, and as you hold this, squeeze the knees toward each other and just hold that tension, hold the lift, and keep breathing. And then take a deep inhale. Now with the exhale, roll this back down. And then once you come down, just reach the arms out to the side, shoulders to the floor, palms open toward the ceiling. And just fold your knees over to the right and over to the left. And just take it back and forth a few times to loosen up. And then the next time your knees come down to the right, just keep them down on the floor, squeeze down. Bring your gaze left and try to press into the floor. Try to lift that right hip up off the mat as you hold the twist. And just engage toward lifting. And then release that. Bring your knees through center to the left side. And press down. Look over to the right. And work to lift that left hip up off the floor. Just hold here. And then go ahead, bring this back down. Now come back to center, bring the knees to your chest, bring your hands to your knees, squeeze it. And as you're squeezing down, curl into this. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, bring your nose to your knees, look forward or close to your knees anyway. Now as you hold on to this, pull the knees wide, and then come back to Baddha Konasana. So reach forward, take hold of your big toes, soles of the feet together, knees are wide, round your spine so that the shoulders are lifted. And then start to roll. Bring the weight toward your shoulders, and then down toward your tailbone. And just take this back and forth a few times. Keep your spine rounded to keep the motion smooth. And then when you're ready, after you've gone back and forth a few times, go ahead and roll this up to seated. Try to keep your feet lifted. We're going to take this to a variation of boat. If your feet come down, you can always pick them back up, keep in mind. Now as you hold on to your balance here, sit this up tall. Press your low back forward, knees out wide, draw the elbows in around your ribs. And then if you can take this further, go ahead, separate your feet, but stay tall. Maybe lift up a little bit higher. You can take this toward full extension if you want to go there, but again, keep this upright as best you can. And then go ahead, bring the feet back together, come back down. And then release your grip. Bring your knees together. Bring the shins up toward parallel with the floor with your arms at your sides. And we're going to go back and forth from here to kneeling. So just take this bit by bit. Right foot behind your left leg. Now when you're ready, roll forward, right shin down, left foot down. You can bring your hands to the floor, but come up to kneeling. Squeeze your glutes and press your hips forward once you're up. And then pull your belly in, round your spine. Come down with control and come back to boat with your legs together. Other side, left foot behind the right leg. Now roll forward, left shin down, right foot down. You can use your hands to lift, but then squeeze your glutes and press your hips forward once you're up. Pull back in, round your spine, and come back to boat. Now, I want to keep going like that. If you can take it further, reach forward and see if you can do this without using your hands. So right foot behind your left leg. Roll forward, lean forward, lift hips forward at the top. Pull back in, round your spine, come down light, no impact here. Bring your legs back together. Left foot behind the right leg, roll forward, lean forward, lift hips forward at the top. Pull back in, round your spine, and come back to boat. Right foot behind your left leg, roll forward, lean forward, lift hips forward at the top. Pull back in, round your spine, and bring your legs back together. Left foot behind the right leg, roll forward, lean forward, lift hips forward at the top. Pull back in, round your spine, and come back to boat. Couple more rounds. Right foot behind your left leg, roll forward, lean forward, lift hips forward at the top. Pull back in, round your spine, and come back to boat. Left foot behind the right leg, roll forward, lean forward, lift hips forward at the top. Pull back in, round your spine, and again, back to balancing here. One more round. Right foot behind your left leg, roll forward, lean forward, lift hips forward at the top. Come back down, take it down light, bring it back to boat. Left foot behind the right leg, roll forward, lean forward, lift hips forward at the top. Pull back in, round your spine, come back to balancing here, and just hold. Draw the thighs in close. Try to sit this as upright as you can. And if you can take it further, keep the thighs pulled in close. Maybe extend your legs further. Take this to where you can. And take an inhale. With the exhale, cross at the ankles. Roll forward, your hands find all fours. Now, once you're in all fours, give yourself a moment here. Just move around. Stretch your hands, stretch your fingers, let the shoulders and hips move side to side. And just feel things out. Loosen up your spine. And then bring this into center when you're ready. Come into all fours. And we're going to take this into the wrist stretch with some cow and cat breathing. So I want you to bring your hands in a little bit closer, maybe about 2 hands lengths in front of your knees. You can always go closer than that. But flip your hands over, backs of the hands down, palms facing up. The fingertips point in toward you. Now spread your fingers out wide, press your fingertips down, press your spine up toward the ceiling. And just keep that lift. Keep the tension in your hands with your fingertips pressing into the floor. And this might be good enough right here. Let that stretch move through the hands, through the wrists, and up into the forearms. Now, if you can take it further from here, just go slow. With an inhale, drop your belly, pull your chest forward, gaze up high. And then with the exhale, pull back in, round your spine and empty out. Inhale, drop your belly, pull your chest forward, look up. Exhale, round and empty. Couple more times. Inhale, drop your belly, bring your chest forward, gaze up high. Exhale, round and empty as completely as you can. And then one more deep inhale, drop your belly, bring your chest forward, find that arch of your spine. With the exhale, round and empty as completely as possible, and just hold for a moment. And then when you're ready, come up onto your fingertips. And walk the hands in a little bit closer, right in front of your knees. Now this time, palms facing down. Rotate your fingertips to the side, and then in toward your knees as far as you can go. Do that with both hands. Now spread your fingers out wide, dig your fingertips down. And then take this a little bit further. Bring your shoulders forward, bend the elbows in toward each other underneath you. It's not going to be a deep bend, but put a little bit more weight on your arms if you can. And keep your fingers digging down. Now from here, work this with a little bit of compression if you want to take this further. So while you're gripping the floor, pull the right knee up high toward the right shoulder, and then try to step that foot down forward with your right hand. Just do it as best you can. Bring the right knee back to the floor. Keep gripping with your fingers. Lift the left knee high toward the left shoulder. Step the foot down, ideally past the hand. And then come back down to the left knee. Right knee toward the right shoulder. And then step the right foot down. And then come back to center. And then left knee up toward the shoulder. Step your left foot down. And then both knees to the floor. One more round. Right knee up toward the right shoulder. Step the right foot down. And then come back to center here. Left knee toward the left shoulder. Step the left foot down. And then come back to both knees. And then come up onto your fingertips down to sitting on your heels and take a moment, shake your hands out, loosen up your fingers and loosen up your wrists. And then once the hands are ready, come back to all fours. Now from all fours, we're going to take it down from the hands to the forearms. So you got to bring both forearms down to the floor. And you can set this up however you prefer. You can keep the forearms parallel with the palms down or press the palms together. Just control the elbows and keep them about shoulder width. When you're ready, just hold this position, press into your hands, tuck the toes of both feet, and then hover your knees just above the mat. Just hold here for a moment. Now keep pressing to your hands so you can engage the shoulders completely here as best you can. Keep the forearms pressing down. And then just go back and forth. With an inhale, bring your hips up high, straighten your legs. Exhale, dip the knees down, touch the floor. Inhale, press your hips high. Exhale, bring the knees back down. Inhale, lift up again. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hips up high. Exhale, touch the knees back down. Inhale, lift this up again. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hips up high. Exhale, bring the knees down. Now inhale, lift your hips and just hold here, stand dolphin. Now as you hold this, you can just stay loose. You can pedal this out and keep a bend in the knees. You can take a break anytime if you want to bring the knees down. But if you can take it further, walk the feet further forward. Try to get the hips up as high as you can. Keep pressing your hands. Stay lifted from the shoulders. You can just hang your head. That's good enough. But if you can take it further, I'm going to cue this into dolphin push-ups. So for that, with an inhale, bring your chin as far forward as you can. Exhale, press back, hips up high. Forward for 2. Press it back. Forward for 3. And press it back. Forward for 4. Press this back again. Forward for 5. And then press it back. Forward for 6. Press it back. Forward for 7. And back. And then forward for 8. Press it back. Forward for 9. Press it back. Forward for 10. Press it back one more time. And then bring your knees down. And come back to all fours. Take a moment here to breathe. Move around. And then from here, we'll work a little bit more compression. So from all fours, just keep your hands down about shoulder width. Grab the floor with your fingertips. And then come up onto both feet. And we're going to come into the crow setup from here. So just keep this loose. Keep your knees bent. Walk your feet forward. Keep your hips up high. Stay on your toes. Lift your heels and bring the knees to touch your upper arms. And just find that contact. Keep that contact. Now with your heels barely lifted like this, just look forward. Lift your hands just a couple inches. And we're just going to walk in this shape. Keep the knees in contact with your arms. So you're going to bring your hands forward. And then just step your feet forward a couple inches. And then just keep on moving like that. And just rock back and forth. Let your weight shift. Bring this all the way to the front of the mat. And then once you make it to the front, take it the other way. Press in your hands and bring your toes back. Now keep your hips lifted. Let the weight shift back and forth. And just breathe as you're moving here. Now again, keep your hips high. Keep the knees in contact with your arms. And again, you're not stepping too far each time. Once you make it to the back of the mat, reverse it again. Bring this forward. Hands come forward. And then the toes. And then just bring yourself to the center of the mat. And then once you get back to center, just go ahead and release this and bring everything down to all fours. And from all fours, just take a moment here. Maybe shake your legs out a little bit. Actually, I'd recommend that. And then bring this back to center, and we're going to come back down onto the forearms. So bring the forearms back down to the floor. And again, you can have the palms down with the forearms parallel or press the palms together. Just keep the elbows at shoulder width. And we're working compression much more deeply here and take this toward a baby crow. Now what we're going to do is bring the hips up high, walk in toward the setup 3 times before we try to find the balance. So press the hands down into the floor, tuck the toes of both feet, and then lift your knees up off the mat. Now keep your knees bent and keep your heels lifted. Keep pressing into your hands. Now walk the feet in close as you can. Keep the knees bent, pull the thighs in toward your chest, toward the torso. Target the knees for the armpits, try to touch your upper arms. And then go ahead, step back, lengthen your body out, and let it go for a moment. Walk it back in when you're ready. Stay on your toes. Heels are high, knees are bent. Pull the thighs in toward your torso as close as you can. Knees toward the armpits. And then again, walk this back out and just let go of that compression for a moment. And then one more time to find the shape. Walk your feet in. Pull the thighs in as close as you can. Target the knees for the armpits. And once you touch the arms, and you can always stay here, keep in mind, but see about going further. Look forward, start to lean forward. And as you lean, let your feet get light. You're just barely balancing off the floor, if you can actually bring this up. And if you found that baby crow, go ahead, bring it down. And everybody come into all fours. And from all fours, just take a moment, move around, loosen things up. And again, you probably want to shake your legs out a little bit and just lengthen things out after pulling things in that tight. Now you can just stay here and breathe and move around, maybe take another break or a little break or another stretch. But when you're ready, tuck your toes, straighten your legs, lift your hips, and come into downward facing dog. Now once you move into down dog, take a look at how you set this up. Hands about shoulder width distance apart. Now press your palms, flatten your hands so you can feel some weight toward the base of your thumbs. Sink your chest down low, but press your hips up as high toward the ceiling as you can and really reach up and long through the hips. Now as you hold on to this, if you tighten the legs and the hamstrings, let that go. You can bend into both knees. And maybe just stay loose all together and pedal this out. Let your hips move side to side. When you're ready, take an inhale. With the exhale, just bend the knees. Look forward and step this to the front of the mat. Let's take a ragdoll fold. So feet about hips width distance apart, deep bend in the knees. Let your belly touch your thighs. Let your head hang low. And let everything go long and loose. Let the muscles in your neck relax. You can hang your hands to the floor. You can reach to opposite elbows if you like, and maybe shake this side to side to loosen further. And then when you're ready for me, just release any grip that you have. Keep your knees bent to begin, but then restack your spine. So just slowly round this up to standing. Bring your head up last. And then just open up your palms at your sides. Now when you're ready here, with an inhale, reach your arms up high. And then with the exhale, just bring your hands down to heart center. Take a moment to breathe, set an intention. Let your mind clear, find your focus. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, just release your hands. Now with the next inhale, reach your arms up high. And then with the exhale, slowly fold this forward. So hinge at the hips, start with a straight spine, put a little bend in your knees. Keep your core engaged, move smoothly, and then just release this at the bottom. Now with an inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips to the floor, to the shins, lengthen forward through the crown of your head. And then with the exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step this back to high plank. Now find your shape here, wrist at the shoulders, palms press to the floor, press the foot away from you. Press your spine up toward the ceiling, try to keep your spine lifted. And keep your core engaged. Now take an inhale here. With the exhale, slowly bring your shoulders forward as the elbows bend. Now keep your body in line, elbows pulled into your sides, and lower with control. Take it slow, all the way down onto your belly. Once you're down, flatten the feet out behind you, hands under the shoulders, elbows into your sides. We're going to take this up and down through low cobra. So with an inhale, just peel up your head, neck, and chest. Exhale, roll this back down. Inhale, peel up again. Exhale, lower. Inhale, peel up one more time. Now just stay lifted here. Keep the lift in the upper body. Press into your feet. Take some or all the weight out of your hands. Elbows at your sides. Pull the shoulders back. Keep your gaze forward. And then work to lift this up a little bit higher. Take an inhale. With the exhale, roll this back down. Now hands under the shoulders, elbows into your sides. Press the palms down to the floor. Let's take it to upward facing dog. So with an inhale, straighten your arms. Now pull your chest forward. Let your hips hang. Stand on the tops of your feet. And keep your legs active. Work to lift your knees up from the mat. Take it further. Kick your feet down. Squeeze your glutes and try to pull the hips forward to deepen and lengthen the arc through the front. Lift with your arms. Lift up through your shoulders. Keep your neck long. Keep your chest pulling forward. And then take an inhale. And with the exhale, pull your belly in. Hips up high to down dog. Paddle out. Let your hips move side to side. All right, now keep in mind, we're starting each flow here with those frog hops. You can bring it up high, you can keep it low, but we're going to do it 3 times. Pressing your hands, land on your toes, and land light. So take an inhale. With the exhale, bend the knees, look forward, hop this forward, land light. And then step it back, hips up high. 2 more times like that, take an inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, hop this forward. Step it back again, hips up high. 1 more time, take an inhale. With the exhale, bend your knees, look forward, hop forward. And then after that 3rd hop, take it to low lunge. Step the right foot between your hands, slide your left foot back. And from low lunge, we're going to take this into a dancer's bridge. So just side plank variation. Left hand's your base. Roll to the outside edge of the left foot, step the right foot behind your left leg and sink down. Now with an inhale, press your hips up high, reach to your right arm. You can stack the shoulders or open your chest toward the ceiling. But keep your glutes squeezing, keep your hips lifting, keep breathing here. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, just sink this straight down. Right hand comes forward, right foot comes forward into low lunge. And then bring your left knee down. Left foot flat behind you. Anjaneyasana here. Now press the hips down, press them forward, press your torso into the right thigh, stay low. And reach your arms straight back. We're going to open and close this a few times. So with an inhale, open up, reach the arms up high. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, open up, gaze high. Exhale, bring it down again. Inhale, open up and lift. Exhale, down 1 more time. Inhale, open up, stay lifted this time. Now reach up and back, gaze up high, let your hips sink down and toward the front of the mat. Just breathe, lengthen out the front of the left side here. And hold on to the shape, but bring your hands to your low back. Interlace your fingers, pull the palms together, draw your shoulders back, press your knuckles down toward the floor. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, just look forward. Now lean forward to the right foot, tuck the toes to the left. Come up to a high lunge stance, lift your left knee up off the floor. Now give yourself a moment just to set this up. Deep into the right, your left leg towards straight, your hips are still squared. And keep your shoulders pulled back. Now I take this into balancing from here. So lean forward over the right foot. When you're ready, pushing your right foot, come forward, left foot up off the floor, keep your lifted body in line. And it's toward a warrior 3. Now maybe your balance is toward vertical, maybe bring it down toward parallel with the floor, whatever you can manage. But keep your hips level, keep your gaze forward, keep breathing, keep a little bit on that right knee. Now with an inhale, slowly bring this up with your left knee high. Keep your balance. And we're going to take this into a figure 4. Left ankle crosses your right thigh. Now keep the left knee aside, curl the toes of your left foot, keep your shoulders pulled back. Maybe sink down into the hips. And if you want to come down deeper, you can hinge from the hips, bring your torso forward over that lifted shin. But we're not hanging out here too long, so if you came down low, slowly come back up. Bring yourself upright with your left knee high. Switch it out, left foot to the floor. Come to standing with the right knee high, still with the arms bound. Now take the figure 4 on this side, right ankle over your left thigh, knee to the side. See about bending that left knee. Maybe hinge from the hips, you can come down low here. Take it to where you can, shoulders pulled back, keep your gaze forward. And then again, if you came down low, bring yourself back up. Right knee high. Switch it out again, right foot to the floor. Left knee lifted, find your balance on this foot again. Back to that figure 4. Left ankle crosses your right thigh. Shoulders pulled back. We'll hold this longer. Maybe just sink down and stay upright. If you want to go deeper, hinge down. Maybe come low over that lifted shin. You could even press your knuckles toward the ceiling. Take it to where you can. Now slowly from here, wherever you are, bring yourself upright with your left knee high. Let's take it back to that warrior 3. Keep a little bend on the right knee. Hinge from the right hip. Left leg goes straight back. Bring your lifted body into line. Maybe stay more toward vertical, maybe down to parallel with the floor, but lower your left hip. Keep it level with the right. Now keep your right knee bent at least a little bit. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, release your hands. Left hand to the floor, right hand to the right hip. We're taking this to a revolved half moon. So lift the right shoulder. Go ahead, keep the right knee bent, and that's fine. Open your chest to the right side. Left leg still extends toward the back. If you can go further, you can straighten your right leg. Maybe reach your right arm high. And if you want to take it further still, you can bind it. You can bend your left knee, reach with your right hand. Now see about finding that left foot. And if you have that grip, kick into your hand to pull the shoulder further back and deepen the twist. Keep breathing here. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, release this. Both hands down, both feet down, forward fold. Now from that fold, when you're ready, take an inhale, lift up halfway. And then with the exhale, set your hands and let's take it to crow. Palms down, grip the floor with your fingers, lift your heels, and touch the knees to your arms. Look forward, lean forward, go slow. You can always just stay here at the edge of balancing. But if you're gonna balance it, keep leaning, set the feet, lift together. Big toes to touch, heels to your seat, take that to where you can. And when you're ready, go ahead, take it through your vinyasa. You can step it back, you can fly it back, whatever you like. Once you find your down dog, give yourself a moment here, pedal out. Let's take all that to the other side. So again, with those frog hops, just land this as silently as you can. Take an inhale. With the exhale, bend your knees, look forward, hop forward. And then step back, hips high. 2 more times, take an inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, hop it forward. Step it back, hips up high. 1 more time, take an inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, hop forward. Now this time, once you come to the front, come into a low lunge. Left foot between your hands, slide your right foot back. And then low lunge to dancer's bridge. Now the right hand's the base. Roll to the outside edge of the right foot. Left foot steps behind your right leg, sink down. With the inhale, press your hips up high and reach to your left arm. Now stay lifted. Maybe stack your shoulders, maybe open your chest toward the ceiling. Keep the right arm strong, keep your glutes squeezing, keep breathing. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, just come straight down. Left hand comes forward, left foot comes forward back to low lunge. Now bring the right knee down, flatten the right foot behind you, Anjaneyasana here. Sink the hips down, press them forward, press your torso into your left thigh, stay low. And then reach the arms behind you. Again, we'll open and close. So with an inhale, open up, arms up high. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, open this up again. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, open up. Exhale down 1 more time. Inhale, open up and stay lifted here. Now let the hips sink low as the arms reach up and back. Keep your gaze up high. And just keep breathing here. Feel that length all through the front of the right side. Now as you hold this, just bring your hands to your low back. Find the grip that feels strange. Interlace the fingers, pull the palms together, draw your shoulders back, maybe press your knuckles toward the floor. And then look forward. Now lean to the left foot. Let's take it to high lunge. Tuck the toes to the right foot. Lift your right knee up off the mat. And just give yourself a moment to set up your stance. Still with the hips squared. Left hip back, right hip forward, chest open. Keep your shoulders back. And let's take this into balancing. So lean forward to the left foot. When you're ready, come forward with the right foot lifted. Maybe balance this more toward vertical, but keep your body in line. And if you can come down lower, bring yourself toward parallel with the floor. Try to keep that right hip level with the left. Try to keep your gaze forward. Keep breathing. With an inhale, slowly bring this upright with your right knee high. Hold your balance here. And take a figure 4. Bring the right ankle across your left thigh. Now curl the toes of the right foot. Maybe bend into that left knee, maybe hinge from the hips. You can sink down lower if you want to take it there. And if you took it lower, keep in mind we're going to keep moving here. So go ahead and bring yourself back upright with the right knee high. And then go ahead and set that right foot down. Switch it out, left knee up high. Once you got your balance, move into the figure 4. Left ankle crosses the right thigh. Shoulders back. Maybe bend into that right knee. Maybe hinge from the hips and sink down again. And like before, if you came down low, bring it up. Left knee high. And once you're upright, switch out. Left foot to the floor, right knee lifted. Back into that figure 4. Right ankle crosses your left thigh, shoulders pulled back. Maybe just stay more upright while you hold. And again, we'll be here a little bit longer. You can always fold this forward over that lifted shin. Maybe even press your knuckles toward the ceiling, but take this to where you can. And then again, bring yourself upright. Right knee lifted, just hold. Come back to your warrior 3 when you're ready. Put a little bend on the left knee. Hinge from the left hip, extend the right leg straight back, but keep your hips in line. Maybe more of a diagonal. Maybe down toward parallel with the floor. Take this to where you can balance. Keep everything in line. Keep it under control. Keep looking forward. Take an inhale. Now at the exhale into that revolved half moon. Right hand to the floor, left hand to your left hip. You can always just keep a bend your left knee, but lift your left shoulder and open your chest up to the left side. This is good enough here. If you can go further, maybe straighten the left leg. Maybe reach your left arm up. And if you want to bind it, you can bend the right knee, reach with your left hand. If you find that foot, kick into your hand, let this pull your shoulder further back to help deepen the twist. Keep breathing. Take an inhale. With the exhale, release this. Both hands down, both feet down, forward fold. From that fold, inhale halfway up. And then with the exhale, set the hands. Let's take it to crow again. Palms down, grip the floor. Lift your heels, bring the knees to your arms. Look forward, lean forward, go slow. You can just stay leaning, that's plenty. If you're going to balance it, lean so the feet lift together. Big toes to touch, heels to your seat, take that to wake in. And then when you're ready, take it through another vinyasa. Once you find your down dog, take a moment, paddle out. And then from downward facing dog, press with your hands. And then just shift your shoulders forward. Bring this into high plank. Now take an inhale. And with the exhale, shoulders forward, elbows back very slowly. Keep your body in line. And lower all the way down onto your belly. Now once you're down, arms down at your sides, we're going to take this into a floor bow. So I want you to bend into both knees and reach back with both hands. Now find the grip you can, the feet, the ankles, maybe the shins. If the grip's not going to happen, just keep on reaching, and you're going to engage your glutes to work to lift your knees and press your belly toward the floor. Now, with an inhale, just lift your head, neck, and chest and look forward. If you don't have that grip, keep reaching, squeeze your glutes, try to lift your knees. But if you have the grip, kick into your hands. Now, draw your shoulders forward to bring your knees up higher. And this could be good enough. Pull your chest forward, reach the top of that toward the ceiling. Now, if you can take this further, keep kicking. But then kick further to the right hand. Maybe come down to the right side. I know it's a little goofy here, but try to hold the arch in your spine. And then kick in your left hand, come back to center on your belly. And then continue over to your left side. And again, try to keep that arch. There we go. All right, kick into the right hand again. Come back onto your belly, bring yourself back up. Try to take this up higher. And then take an inhale. With the exhale, release. Bring your knees down, arms to your sides, bring your chin to the floor. You can windshield wiper your legs side to side if you like. But then when you're ready, bring your feet back down. Hands underneath the shoulders, elbows into your sides. Pull your belly in, press up to all fours. Go ahead, tuck your toes, find down dog. Once you move into down dog, take an inhale, raise your right leg high behind you. And then with the exhale, take this to half pigeon. Right knee behind the right wrist, right ankle somewhere behind the left. Now go ahead, flatten your left foot, bring the left knee down. Pull that left hip forward, keep it in line with the right, so keep your hips squared to the front. Sink your weight straight down to the floor. And look for at least a little bit of that stretch on the right side, outer right hip or toward the glutes. Now you can stay upright. You can take the extension deeper if you want to go toward a back bend. And you can always melt to the elbows, so you can come down all the way if you like. Just take it to where you need to right now. Nothing wrong with resting if that's where you need to go. All right, then if your hands are forward, walk them back into center. We'll take it to the other side. So when you're ready, just tuck the toes to your left foot, release your right leg, take a moment, shake it out. And once the right foot comes down, inhale your left leg up high. With the exhale, bring it forward, left knee behind your left wrist, left ankle somewhere behind the right. Flatten your right foot, straighten the right leg, pull your right hip forward, keep it in line with the left. Sink your weight straight down. And again, look for at least a little bit of that stretch on the bent leg side, out of the left hip or toward the glutes. Now you can keep this upright. You can take it toward a back bend if you want to go deeper with the extension. You can always come down to the elbows or melt down all the way. But just settle in the position that suits you best here and just breathe. And then again from here, if your hands are forward, walk them back in. Tuck the toes of your right foot, release your left leg, and just shake that out for a moment. then once the left foot comes down, go ahead and bring your knees down to the floor. And from here, we're going to take this into Firefly. Now I'm going to go through the same demonstration twice. So if you like, you can just take a moment and just watch me go through it the first time and then do it with me the second. Or you can do both, or you can always take another entry if you're more familiar with the pose. So feel free to play around. But coming into this, the easiest entry I know for this pose is from a wide-legged forward fold. So feet a little bit wider than your hips, not too wide. Heels in towards center, toes out. Keep your knees bent and keep your legs loose. Just keep the fold. And then from here, to take the deep forward fold, you're going to walk your hands between your legs. Pay attention to keep the fingertips either pointed forward or maybe rotate out 90 degrees to the side, right and left. Don't take it any further than that. You want to avoid pointing your fingertips behind you because there's nothing to stop you from going forward. Now, when you're ready, walk your hands between your legs. Pull your torso down as low as possible between your thighs. Ideally, the shoulders come between your knees. Just get as close as you can. And when you can't fold anymore, just look down and then all at once, set your palms, bend the elbows, sit on your arms, and squeeze the knees in toward your shoulders. Now, you want to keep your chest facing down, keep a fold, and you're trying to keep your butt up off the floor. If you're already sitting down, you got to start all over again. We got two options here. So you can come to the arm pressure pose. This is sort of an intermediary. You bring the feet together, hook at the ankles, and use that hook to squeeze your legs in so you don't fall down. Use your inner thighs, hold that tension. If you're going to take it to Firefly, go ahead and release that. Point the toes, keep your legs squeezing in, and just straighten as best you can. You don't have to be completely straight, but you got to have the tension from the inner thighs. If you let it go, you'll just come right down. So let's take it up a second time. So in that wide-legged forward fold, feet wide, hips high, head low. And again, feet just a little bit wider than the hips, heels in, toes out, and keep your knees bent here to start. Now, when you're ready, walk your hands back between your legs. Keep the fingertips pointed forward or to the sides, right and left. And fold down as deeply as you can. Pull yourself down low. Now, when you can't fold any deeper, just look straight down. All at once. Set your palms, bend the elbows, sit on your arms, and squeeze the knees in toward your shoulders. Now, if your butt's still off the floor, see about bringing your feet in close. Maybe find that arm pressure pose, hooking at the ankles to squeeze the legs in. If you want to go right to Firefly, point the toes forward. Squeeze the inner thighs in as tightly as you can. And keep that tension of the inner thighs to keep you balanced. So you can always have a little bend in the elbows. That makes it easier. And the more you straighten the arms, the more you have to squeeze the legs in. Just take it the way you can. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release things. You're welcome to play with that further. All right, once you let that go, come all the way down onto your back. And then when you're down, pull your knees into your chest. Just squeeze everything in tight. And then go ahead and release your left leg extended out fully. Lay the left arm down at your side. And then right arm inside the right leg, take hold of the right big toe and pull down. Now keep your right hip on the floor, but as you pull with the right hand, press up with the right foot. And just take this until you can feel that stretch in the back of the right thigh. You're looking for that stretch in the hamstrings. Keep pulling down and pressing up. Find the tension and breathe into it. Now if you can take it further, maybe straighten the leg. And the straighter you go, the more you want to draw that right big toe over your shoulder. Now, as you do that, keep your glutes engaged on the left side. Keep your left foot pressed down. And just breathe here. Now, when you're ready, take an inhale. And then with the exhale, just slowly bend the right knee, lower it toward the side of your ribs. We're taking this to a half happy baby, so when the foot's low enough, right hand to the outside edge of the foot, left hand to the other side. Now keep the ankle stacked above the knee and then pull down. As you're pulling down, press up at the same time and look for that extra stretch on the right inner thigh and just breathe into it. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, just release your grip. Pull both knees into your chest for a moment. And then when you're ready, go ahead and switch it out. Extend your right leg fully. Right arm down at your side. Left arm inside the left leg, find the big toe. Now once you got that grip, just pull down. As you're pulling with the left hand, press up with your left foot. And again, just take this until you can feel that stretch on the back of the left leg. Maybe your knees bent, breathe into it. And the more you can straighten that left leg, the more you're going to pull that big toe over the left shoulder. Keep your glutes engaged. Keep the right foot pressing down. And just take this to where you can. Breathe into the stretch that you feel here. Take a deep inhale. Now with the exhale, slowly bend the left knee, lower toward the side of your ribs. When the foot's low enough, left hand to the outside edge, right hand to the other side. Stack the ankle above the knee, pull down. As you're pulling down, press the foot back up into your hands. Keep the tension working both directions here. Just breathe into that. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale this time, just release the right hand. And take the full pose to draw your right knee in and find that grip on both sides. Hands to the outside edges of the feet. Ankles over the knees, pull down. And try to bring the feet down to the floor, but press the feet back up into your hands at the same time. So try to flatten your spine, sink your tailbone down. And if you can take it further, you can rock a little bit side to side. Farther still, you can extend your legs out against your grip. And then finally, when you're ready, take a deep inhale, draw down as much as you can. And then with the exhale, just release, extend your legs out fully. Lay your arms at your sides. Open up your palms toward the ceiling. And just let your eyes close here and let your body sink down into the mat for a moment. When you're ready here, just move again bit by bit, fingers and toes, arms and legs. Extend this out. Take an inhale, reach your arms out past your head. And then pull things back in. Bring the elbows toward your chest, draw your knees up as well. And just find your way up to a comfortable seat. Take a moment, ground yourself into the mat here, stack your spine. Bring your hands up the heart center. And then take a deep inhale, hold on to the top. And just let everything go. I thank you for joining class. Namaste.